right, welcome back, everyone. We have an extremely special match here today from Friday Night Magic. This one's going to be featuring two guys, one you've seen on stream before and one you haven't. The one you haven't is Zuby, and he's an awesome member of our community who's a content creator as well. He does a magic podcast called Magic with Zuby. There will be a link in the description, so please go check him out. Send him your love. He recently did an episode with the professor from Tolarian Community College, so we're extremely happy to have his support here at NeverBoard.
Yeah, Zuby's an old friend of ours. A really great all-around guy, really passionate about magic. So, it's great to have him around as, a big-time content creator right here in Spring Hill, Florida. Just amazing.
Yeah, that's why I knew we hit the big time. I was on his Wizards of the Coast page, and I just see, like, a link on their main page, like, check out Magic with Zuby, like, hosting with Tolarian Community College. I'm like, what the heck? Dude?
Yeah. Like, you got the professor? He was like, yeah, I got the professor. You should check it out. Check out my podcast. I'm like, yeah, well.
Cool.
All right, so opening plays here, we have Zuby fetching for a mountain off of that Evolving Wilds. Meanwhile, Dan Caskey has dropped that on curve glint sleeve siphoner. We see this a lot in these black-green decks.
All right, and so Dan's deck on the left here is going to be focusing around one of the new flip enchantments called Journey to Eternity. That's going to allow the attached creature to come back from the grave when it dies, and when it does come back, it flips it over the land, which is tap 5, and itself to bring back any creature from the graveyard. It's going to be trying to get a lot of value from things like Lurking Chupacabra late in the game, if it can get there. Whereas, what do you think Jund is going to be doing for the most part?
Basically, just all of the big... Early game, it's going to be playing a lot of removal spells, if he finds any. But when he gets to turn 4 or 5 or so, he's going to start dropping things like Bristling Hydra and Glorybringer. Ooh. So that's what this is all about, really, is just having that red-green monster shell, but adding a splash of black for some
maybe
extra
we'll
utility.
see Jadelight Ranger here too.
Yeah, Jadelight Ranger also always a big feature in these green decks. He doesn't have the mana for it right now, though. He drops the Blooming Marsh. He's got one of each. He's going to Fatal Push the Glint Sleeve, but a Blossoming Defense will come out to save it. So importantly, with the reverse half of Journey to Eternity, I forget what the title of the card is. I'll tell you what it is in a second. But importantly, with the reverse half of that card, the creature that you bring back has no rider attached to it. Like, there's no rider attached to the ability that returns the grave to the battlefield. Atzal Cave of Eternity is the name of the back half of that card, by the way. Usually, when you get cards, in the past you would have cards like, for example, Whip of Erebos, where you could bring back a creature from the graveyard to the battlefield for a turn and give it haste, and then it would exile it in a turn. But this has no rider. You could just keep bringing back the same creature over and over again for the rest of the game if you want.
Yeah, it's insanely powerful. The thing doesn't get exiled, nothing happens. It just goes right back to your grave, ready to be reborn next turn, which is going to make things like Gonti, Lord of Luxury, extremely powerful. Lurking Chupacabra. There's tons of great targets.
Yeah.
And here he comes.
Journey to Eternity going to be attached to this Glint Sleeve Siphoner. It'll be able to get past the Bristling Hydra anyway because of Menace, but Zuby reading the Atzal half of the card to make absolutely sure of what it does.
So now he's going to be kind of in a pickle. He's not going to want to kill this Glint Sleeve, but if he doesn't, Dan's going to be drawing some extra cards here.
Going up to 3 energy off of that swing. Unfortunately, Caskey not finding enough energy the previous turn to draw a card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the tricky things about playing this Journey card... Oh, man, and watch out. Here comes the Verdurous Gearhulk onto the field.
One of your old friends, right?
Oh, yeah, I love him. That is a fat Hydra.
Yeah, that Hydra swinging is a 6/5.
Yep, he is going to not spend any energy there. Going to save it for more of a defensive option just in case he fires a Vraska's Contempt at it or something along those lines. But as I was saying, one of the tough things about the Journey card is when you cast it, you really have to make sure your opponent doesn't have the removal spell because they can just kill the target and fizzle your card and get a nice 2-for-1 out of you.
And what is this green card he just cast?
Oh, it's Renegade Rallier? Is that what it's called?
No. Renegade Rallier, it's...
Narnum or something? I can't remember his name. Either way, it's the one that has Death Touch and Revolt.
Well, we'll get a card title in a second. I think I know the one you're talking about, though. This is a very good card to have in a Journey deck, actually, to be able to use it on the... Yeah, Narnum Renegade, Death Touch, and with Revolt, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, it gets a +1/+1 counter.
Narnum. It sounds like a place from, like, Bloodborne or something.
It sounds like Narnia. Yeah,
All right.
definitely a good card to have on defense against this Bristling Hydra.
Oh yeah, Death Touch and Hexproof ain't gonna save you from that.
And a good thing to attach the Journey to Eternity to as well. Gonti.
I've got some Death Touch of my own.
How many Gontis have we seen slung lately? Just every single black deck seems to have one now.
All right, this is where you want to pull a Fatal Push off the top of your opponent's deck. This would be pretty clutch. Looks like he gets a Blossoming Defense.
I see Blossoming Defense, lands. Can't tell what the other two cards are.
I'd probably take that Blossoming Defense.
I don't think he did. I think he...
No, saw something a little cooler. Okay.
Yeah.
Will he play it this turn?
Well, he doesn't have to choose while Gonti's alive. We've talked about this. And of course, the Narnum Renegade going to trade with the Hydra as Verdurous Gearhulk takes
still
down to the
5.
6. Yeah.
Yeah, Gearhulk doesn't seem as overwhelming when the snake isn't on the field, but still really strong.
Still distributes 4 +1/+1 counters.
Yeah, I guess an 8/8 with trample for 5 mana is pretty good. Dan being a little pensive about his play here. Is he stuck on mana?
Yeah, he's stuck on mana, but he's got Yeheni, so now he can just sack this Glintsleeve Siphoner at his leisure to get the enchantment to flip.
Yeah, that's really nice. He's not going to have to worry about Zuby killing this thing. And he goes right away, he does it.
Yeah, you just got to do it right away, not even bothering to swing first. I think you should have swung first, just to get that free energy.
Same here. I mean, that's an instant speed ability on Yeheni, right? So he
Yeah.
I would save it for any type of interaction my opponent tries to do.
And then with that extra mana, another Narnum Renegade.
Oh, okay. So he did want to just get the mana ramp out ASAP. All right, and he gets the Revolt trigger. Zuby reminds him because he sacked his own creature.
Yeah. Let me just help you play your deck. Arch of Araska, not quite to the City's Blessing, but still good to see nonetheless.
Oh man, I hope this Gonti surprise card comes into play here. Gonti is just full of luxurious surprises.
One more permanent will get him to the Blessing. And there it is.
Oh, it's a Yeheni of his own.
The Yeheni Mirror, and that will give Zuby the City's Blessing.
And is that enough mana to do it?
No, he needs 5 in a tap.
Okay. Oh, Rishkar. The Pima Renegade coming up, going to pump up some more creatures here.
The hits just keep on coming, more +1/+1 counters. Zuby's creatures keep getting bigger.
And he's got a ton of mana on board now. Going to easily be able to draw with Arch and do some more stuff on his turns.
And yeah, Yeheni has haste, I forgot about that, so... Here they come.
He might have to block with everything here just to stay alive. Trample's going to be a big problem. Ooh, and just when I thought Dan was stabilizing and getting ready to start unleashing some fury with Journey, he is still mana behind before being able to activate it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the mana screw still looms large. Glintsleeve Siphoner going to have to die to Gonti.
So I'm guessing he blocked and then sacked to make his Yeheni indestructible there?
Yes, that's exactly what happens. And now the trample damage is going to come over from Verdurous Gearhulk.
And the Death Touch. So able to salvage at least one of his blockers.
Yeah, Yeheni will get a 1/1 counter from Verdurous Gearhulk dying.
It's a creature your opponent controls.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not your own. That would be way too broken if it also included your own.
Yep, and the Yeheni eats it. He decides not to sack anything to survive. Creature your opponent. That's a tricky one. It still counts as a creature your opponent controls dying when.
Yeah, even if it goes to your graveyard, yeah, it's still they controlled it at the time. Oh, Ravenous Chupacabra. Down goes Gonti.
Oh man, clutch last play here.
Kasky suddenly starting to come back here. Zuby already has the City's Blessing though, so he can keep drawing cards.
Wonder if he caught it. He didn't pull out any indicator of that.
Yeah, you're kind of supposed to. Anyway, Yeheni's going to swing in for 4 now. That Chupacabra, very, very big.
So close. Looks like he has a Harness Lightning there in hand too. Not entirely sure.
I think so. Yep. First he's going to cast a Glintsleeve Siphoner.
This could be game. Would have been nice to have all that extra mana from your Rishkar counters, but it's too cataclysmic of a turn last time.
If he's got a way to pump Rishkar while also removing the blocker,
Harness
Zuby wins.
Lightning.
So there goes the Harness Lightning. Zuby gonna bank energy off that. Rishkar taking Dan to 1. Ooh, very tight.
This is where you regret not putting one of those counters on Rishkar.
Field of Ruin.
If Cascade hits his land drop here, oh, he just did, didn't he?
Yeah, he just played Field
Okay,
of
so
Ruin.
he's still not live on his flipped card.
No.
The Cave.
But he's got something to do tapping out.
Is-
Hold on. Does he even have enough mana to do that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't. It's 5 and then itself.
Yeah, it's 5 and then itself. He should not have been able to do that.
Oh, damn.
Zuby didn't catch it.
Alright, well, Zuby still's got plays. He's
Yeah,
going to take a draw here.
He remembered the city's blessing at least. But this Yeheni at a 5/5 is going to present a problem.
Problematic, yeah. Oh, and just passes up the turn.
He's sitting on enough mana for another Harness Lightning. Dan finds Hashep Oasis.
Oh my gosh, he wins without that misplay, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think Zuby
block.
wins without that misplay. Yeah,
Ew, that's pretty gross, guys.
that's not good. Crack Field of Ruin, destroy the Arch. That's just disrespect right there. And then Fatal Push the Rishkar because of Revolt. Yeheni will get bigger. That's 8 exactly.
Ooh, that feels bad, man.
Yeah.
Alright, read your cards, guys. Make sure. It's tricky because it says, 5 mana, but you also have to tap the flip land itself, and you can't use its own mana in there.
Yeah. People sometimes, they don't read cards closely enough and they assume they work a certain way and they don't. Like, you can't tap a land for mana and one of its abilities at the same time. That just doesn't work.
Yep, just another one showcasing the importance of really paying attention to the board state. Both players need to be extremely vigilant and focused, making sure their opponents are making legal plays.
Yeah, after this particular FNM event, that's when we started having a judge sitting in on all of the stream matches.
Yeah, we were catching a little too much slop in these tournaments, but, as to be expected, this is a complicated game, and it does involve a lot of attention to detail and presence of mind. And when you get one goal in the game, put into your head, it's easy to overlook the little things.
Yeah, there was an FNM event that I had won recently, that I had finished first place in recently. I've mentioned this before. It was against Falcon, where I was so excited to beat him that I thought I had exactly 8 damage on board, and I had 7, and he should have gotten another turn.
Yeah, the miscalcs. It happens, but as you say, it literally falls on both players in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Curious to see what Zuby's going to have in the sideboard for this deck. I'm imagining more creature control would be something to deal with. If he has Field of Ruins or anything like that to help deal with the land once it flips.
If he's got Field of Ruin, he's got it in the main board. I don't think it's really a sideboard card. It's a main board or not at all. The fact that it can slot in so easily into 3-color decks, even in Modern, is a really big advantage of that card. But more creature control by itself isn't really going to do it. What Zuby's going to have to do is bring in some form of graveyard hate. So if he's got Scavenger Grounds on the board, that might be something to consider.
Nice.
Silent Gravestone is another good option.
Truly.
I see Hour of Glory as Zuby shuffling up. I saw an Hour
Oh,
of
Zuby
Glory.
does have the snake in this deck. I
Yeah.
did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, why wouldn't he? I mean, he's dealing with a lot of counters here. Snake into Rishkar is still a great line of play turn 2 into turn 3.
Yeah. Oh, man. But no Hadana's Climb. Well, you got Aether Hubs. You could take it.
I thought we were done with 4-color decks after the
go.
banning of Attune with Ether, Sako.
Yeah, probably. Ooh, looks like Zuby having to take them all there. Showing off some more of his deck on the bottom there. Long Tusk Cub in the build as well.
I was just saying more creature control wouldn't help, unless it's Hour of Glory. Hour of Glory is actually a good thing to bring in.
Gosh, Jund Monster seems really fun. I'm just looking at him shuffling his deck, watching
he's got
Glory
Chandra
Bringers
in
and
there.
Chandra's flying by.
Just like an all-star of all the best cards in those colors.
Yeah, threats are better than answers, right?
Yeah, in a vacuum, yeah.
Alright, so Zuby's on the play, starting with one less card. Not the best scenario here. Alright, and let's see how he opens this one. See, I think Zuby just knew. He felt bad for him. He's like, okay, I'll let you get the game, young Padawan.
Zuby's a nice guy. Turn 1 Ether Hub is usually not what you want to see.
Alright.
There's that Renegade.
Dan dropping an extra land on the field, showing his opponent.
Narn Renegade. Get Forest, revealing Forest. The new show basic lands.
Oh, and nothing on turn 2 either. That kind of communicates to me either he's sitting on some burn spells, which I think he might have used there, or some large creatures.
No, he wouldn't choose to burn out a Narn Renegade unless he absolutely had to, and he doesn't have to when he's got a creature with Menace ready to go.
We take those.
Take the 1. Field of Ruin on the Ether Hub. I like it. So what color mana is Zuby going to find? Dan's going to fix himself with a black.
Green, right? Yeah, it's got to be green. Green unlocks a lot of plays, but it's pretty sad not to see any red.
Calling it right now, Fatal Push, Blossoming Defense. How many times have we seen this line of play?
Yeah. Although, like, a lightning would be nice to deal with this Death Touch guy, but right now, Dan's opting to just be more offensive with it, seeing as it's not going to be able to block the Menace anyway.
He's already got enough energy to use Glintsleeve Siphoner's upkeep trigger as well, which he will do.
Smart. Well played. So this is going to equalize that mulligan from the beginning of the match.
Mm-hmm. Dan's still showing Fatal Push, but...
Ooh, that's a land he needed right there.
Rootbound Crag.
Glintsleeve finding him, showing him why this card is so powerful. The Bob of Standard.
Do we have a Jadelight Ranger? We do. Exploring into... Can't tell what that is.
I'm not sure. It looks like a red instant, maybe a Harness Lightning.
No, it's Glorybringer.
Glorybringer.
He's going to bin it. And now Jadelight Ranger exploring again for a Forest.
Nice. That's a good J-Light Ranger.
Get her up to a 3-2 and bank an extra land. Oh, but the Chupacabra is going to eat her.
Man, Chup is such a good card.
Narnum Renegade again getting in for that free peck damage.
Alright.
Zuby disappointed to find he's only got the 1 energy. Can't do Glintsleeve Siphoner this turn.
He'll be back up in play soon enough. You think he's got the Rekindling Phoenixes in this as well?
That's a possibility, but he can't cast it right now. He needs another red. And that's an Abrade going to take down the Chupacabra.
Very cool.
And Long Tusk Cob. Ooh, there's a blast from the past.
Nice. It's such a powerful card. I'm surprised that it's not seeing as much play, but the energy strategies have been severely hindered by the lack of attune.
Yeah, Attune with Ether was what really made Long Tusk Cub go over the top, and without it in the format, you aren't seeing the Cub get played very much, but if you are a dedicated energy deck, it's still a decent threat.
Truly. I think that what would have made it even better is if it got more energy, if it got energy when it entered the battlefield.
That'd make it way too good.
Yeah.
It already gets energy whenever it connects on combat, so... Anyway, Dan's going to drop an Amit Eternal and a Glintsleeve Siphoner of his own, but he's only got the 1 energy, so no extra draw for him. Meanwhile, Zuby's going to spend all his energy to get an extra draw on his own Glintsleeve Siphoner.
Taking a quick look at Amit Eternal, it is a fairly tricky card.
Yeah. You gotta really think through your plays on this card, because, I mean, it's a 5/5, which is scary, but if you play enough spells, if you hold up just enough gas to shrink it down to size and just weather the afflict damage, it's not that scary.
Oh, I see the Gear Hulk in Zuby's hand, but looks like he's going to opt to save it for later.
Yep. First he's going to do Long Tusk Cub, put a counter on the Amit Eternal. Yeah, that's his plan now, is to just shrink this Amit Eternal.
This is when this Narnum is going to become a problem late here in the game.
Oh, and an Abrade targeting the Amit Eternal. See? This is why you got to think about these plays. Because if you can cast another spell and then Abrade or Harness Lightning, you're guaranteed to destroy the Amit Eternal.
Yeah, and so that might look like a 2-for-1, but it's not. It's really just a 1-for-1 there.
It's a 1-for-1 and then another creature.
So real good play. All right, looks like somebody's texting.
Come on, Life Counter app.
That's my phone, by the way, everyone. It's probably my mom.
So both Glintsleeve Siphoner and Long Tusk Cub will trigger, banking Zuby 3 energy. He's got enough to draw another card or pump the Long Tusk Cub if he wants to.
All right, this is the part of the game where I think I'm going to not swing in with this Death Touch creature.
Yeah, the Narn gets... Oh, but another Chupacabra. So
Take out the glint sleeve.
I think you have to take out the glint sleeve. Stop Zuby from drawing gas. That menace is also really hard to deal with
Well, he's
too.
thinking about it. He's not sure.
No, you definitely have to go after the glint sleeve, because if that Verdur's Gear Hulk shows up again and just loads her up,
Yeah, then you're in big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But both players at toe-to-toe right now. Glint sleeve getting in with menace, thankfully.
12-12, neck and neck, these two. Back and forth plays, not missing any land drops here. Dan's got that if near dead lands online if Zuby chooses not to pump these Long Tusk Cubs. Another Jade Light Ranger. Into
Man, he's
Ether Hub. Huh?
I said he's opting for the slower approach here. I know he has that Gear Hulk in hand. I'm surprised if you don't see it just hit the board. I guess he's trying to get that Yarnum off the board first.
Yeah, that's probably the goal here, is to just go as wide as possible, get the Narnum Renegade off the board, and then just have as many things as possible to spread the love on with the +1/+1 counters. He's got enough mana for another spell, Rishkar.
Ooh, that's going to be pretty strong, yeah.
Speaking of love with +1/+1 counters, I bet he was hoping for that Jade Light Ranger to get him something other than 2 land, but regardless, it gets him out of the mana pocket. It's still good. Long Tusk Cubs are going to be swinging in his 3/3s, and finally the Narnum Renegade will make a trade.
Okay, I thought he was just blocking with one, but decides to go block with both.
No, yeah, he does block with both, yeah. I think he was just pointing out the Death Touch before deciding to block with the Chupacabra.
See, this is, I might have thought about not putting one of the counters on the Cubby there. Oh no, then he would have got them both, wouldn't he? Yeah, Chupacabra would have ate the other one then.
Dan just top decked Bantu's Last Reckoning, and I think he's just going to go ahead and slam it. Oh, wait, no. Taking a second to think about it.
I like that. I like that. Attack first.
Attack first, see what Zuby does.
Because you might sneak in the damage, which he does.
Yeah, and gets a free energy. Now you cast Bantu's Last Reckoning.
Well played, Dan. I like that.
Blow up the universe. You don't untap your lands next turn, but small price to pay to get rid of 3 creatures on your opponent's side.
All right, now Zuby's feeling really good about not committing that Gear Hulk to the board. Will this be the turn where we see it coming in as an 8/8 by itself?
Maybe. Or maybe he's got a Bristling Hydra.
Yeah,
Hydra.
even better.
With 7 energy counters to back it up. He can pump it twice. Okay, so those lands don't untap from Bantu's Last Reckoning. That's got to feel really, really bad, too. You just spent your Bantu's Last Reckoning, and then all of a sudden the hexproof creature shows up. Like, dang it, that's the thing I really didn't want him to play. That's what I boarded in these Bantus for.
Yeah. I guess he could have tried to be a little more patient there, seeing if you can get Zuby to commit more to the board. But, I don't know. It's a tough call.
At 11 life, it's really tough. You got to keep track of your life total as well. Make sure you're not hosing yourself. That's a duress.
Ooh, yuck. That's probably a sideboard card, I would imagine.
Probably.
But doesn't seem very good in this matchup, as we're about to see.
Yeah, Verdur's Gear Hulk and a land, that's it.
Ooh.
Just shrug your shoulders. He opted to pay an energy instead of a life, too. Like, that shows you just how important he thinks his life total is.
Yeah, Hydra can get large. I mean, if he plays a snake this turn, it's going to be a real strong Hydra.
Did he top deck a snake? Whoa.
Blinding Constrictor. I can smell those snakes.
Oh, man.
Holy mackerel. Okay.
This is going to be a giant Hydra. It could end the game.
Might as well just put all 4.
Yeah, Dan's just going to scoop them up. He's not even going to play it out.
Beautiful combination there of cards that I love to play, so makes me happy to see them doing work.
And we're all tied up at 1 apiece.
Zuby should just be winning this 2-0 right now.
Yeah, he should be winning the match, but
let's see if the karmic justice is on point and Zuby can pull away with game 3.
it's been on point so far. Yeah. We haven't yet had the hashtag heel tactics win.
All right, so maybe Dan's going to reconsider his sideboard options here and take those duress back out.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing that.
And then Bantu he took out again. He's like, that didn't help me win.
Nope, not when he's got Hydras in his hands.
Yeah, just got to stick to the strat here. He wasn't able to pull his flip land, the moniker of his own deck, so that's probably a big factor into why his demise was met so early.
You're going to play an engine deck, you got to find an engine. Otherwise, you're just pulling that ripcord on the lawnmower and it's not turning on. Mm-hmm. Time to call tech support.
Yeah, it's tricky when you have a deck that relies on one copy of a card you can only have 4 of. It's really not that consistent of an engine, you know?
I mean, it's consistent enough because, I mean, we've run this math before. If you have 4 of a copy in your 60-card deck, 4 copies of a single card in a 60-card deck, there is a 40% chance you'll find at least 1 copy of it in your opening hand.
Yeah, and that goes up and up as the match goes on, too.
Yeah.
But no digging or draw power for this besides the Glint Sleeve Siphoner. That's going to be the card that really makes up the difference of the 60% not find.
Well, Glint Sleeve Siphoner is just good in any black deck.
Truly. All right, let's see if we've yet to see any of the red cards really making that big of an impact on the match from Zuby's deck.
Oh, there's the Rekindling Phoenix. You called it.
I love that card. It's so strong.
I can't wait to start playing it myself.
Yeah, so if you made it to this point of the video, guys, I'd like to ask you all, for the comments here, what deck are you looking forward to trying once Dominaria releases? You think there's going to be a big impact on the format, a shake-up of top decks, or is it going to kind of stay the same with just some new tech additions?
You want my answer?
Oh, I want yours too, Alex. Yes, you can lead the charge.
Green Stompy.
Green Stompy.
Because Llanowar Elves is going to be lit.
Oh, yeah.
Turn 2 Jadelight Ranger. Here we go.
Do you think just straight up a mono green Stompy?
I don't know about mono green, although there's a strong argument for it considering that triple green creature that you've been talking
Yeah, the
about.
green devotion. Something leaf champion. Stilt leaf champion or something like that?
I have no idea what it's called, but yeah.
Yeah. Insane. There's a lot of those new devotion 3-drop cards. Seems like every color got one in the new Dominaria set. Which would be cool because there aren't that many mono color decks running around in Standard. Just the black and red I've seen.
Mono black aggro, mono red aggro. My vampire deck is almost mono.
Almost.
It's based on a mono deck. Haven't seen any mono blue decks in a very, very long time.
Yeah, they don't seem to have enough win condition action. But we're going to be seeing a bit of an improvement to 2 of, in my opinion, the most underpowered colors in Standard right now, which is green and blue. And Wizards will hopefully come through in Dominaria and make some interesting action.
Yeah, we're getting, in some capacity, a counterspell and a lightning bolt.
Conditional, but still pretty strong.
That turn 1 Evolving Wilds, always good.
Let's see. This is where you wait and see if they go for the swamp here.
Gosh, this is always a nice line of play to see turn 1, turn 2, getting the Ether Hub in advance of Glint Sleeve Siphoner, just to be able to draw a card off for the first upkeep afterwards.
Man, I really do not like playing Evolving Wilds. I can understand there's a little bit of synergy with Fatal Push, and with the tricolor deck it can help fix some of your problems, but I still don't like that card.
It really depends on the build. Zuby's got that Hour of Glory in hand. Let's see if he gets a chance to use it in this game.
Hour of Glory, what is that?
3 and a black for an instant that exiles target creature. I believe it also exiles all copies of that creature from its controller's hands. Let me see the exact wording.
Okay, cool. Oh, and here we go. He's on curve. He's going to get Journey to Eternity equipped to his Glint Sleeve Siphoner, just like game 1.
Okay, it exiles target creature, and if that creature was a god, its controller reveals their hand and exiles all cards from it with the same name as that god.
All right, nice. Well, I don't think there's any god dudes in either of these decks, so...
Well, Dan could be playing like a Ronus or a Bantu. I mean, it really depends on...
That's true.
Whether he uses Bantu as a sack engine or uses Ronus to give his creatures trample. Either one is valid in this build.
It's kind of funny. This is like a black and green's way of having Scarab God in their deck without any blue.
Yeah. Who needs Scarab God? I just have this enchantment that turns into a land.
See, so... I kind of like the pickle putting Journey on Glint Sleeve puts your opponent in, because now they're like, do I really want to kill that thing? They can just keep drawing. Or they get a flip.
Dan hasn't drawn any cards off this one yet, though.
Yeah, somewhat surprising seeing as he's sitting at 4 energy.
I think he's just tempting Zuby into blowing her up. Oh, but the Vraska's Contempt.
No.
The blowouts.
Oh, gosh.
And
That is the 2-for-1 you want to see when you're playing on Zuby's side.
Zuby should be gaining 2 off of that. He hasn't adjusted his life total.
Oops. Yeah, he was just too excited from the blowout.
Yeah. Another Glint Sleeve.
Ugh, that's the danger of this aura-based strategy, man. In a format where there is so much removal rampant, anything like a Thopter or Rest can just completely wreck it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame.
Field of Ruin, the Rootbound Crag. I think Zuby has a basic mountain in there somewhere.
I wish I worked at Wizards. They should have made that card just a normal enchantment, not an aura. It'd have been much nicer.
It would have been much easier to play for sure. They wanted to give that risk factor and give some counterplay to it.
Alright, grabs that red mana. Doesn't... Did he already spend his energy? Yeah, to play Glintsley. I mean, to play Jade Light, didn't he?
I think so.
Okay, so none of his double-colored cards are going to be able to be cast quite yet. Which is quite a few of them, right, in this deck? That's got to be one of the issues with this build. Is that what? Bringer takes 2, Chandra takes 2, Phoenix takes 2.
Bristling Hydra?
Yeah, Gearhulk takes 2, Jade Light takes 2. And they're all different colors of 2.
Yeah, so he's got to have... he's got to have... A Rootbound Crag would be the best thing to find.
Truly.
But a basic forest would be okay. A basic mountain would also be okay, depending on what he has in hand. But a Rootbound Crag would be the best thing. Dan truly hitting the best possible target with that Field of Ruin. Keeping him off the double color.
Yeah, well thought out there. Let's see what kind of pressure Zuby's going to be able to commit to the board after this. Hopefully he finds that land. That's what he really needs right now.
Well, Jade Light Ranger hit 2 lands. I didn't see what they were.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah, he's got it. Rootbound Crag. All right. So he's back online with most of his deck. He can't cast Gonti if he's got Gonti, but he's got other double color things he could cast. Fatal Push takes out the Glint Sleeve.
I like that play. Definitely want to get that out of there. Leave him stranded with 4 energy.
More chip damage from the Jade Light.
Another one.
Here we go.
Draws mana.
And lands. Wow.
Wow, that was 3 lands on top of his deck from the start of the last turn. Holy smokes.
I mean, at least it's getting him through the mana pockets, but he'd like to see those Jade Light Rangers actually get bigger. Not just sit there as 2/1s.
Yeah, don't forget, it's really just a Merfolk Branchwalker that explores twice, so...
Yeah, just for an extra green.
It's really weak when it doesn't get any counters.
You say that, but Branchwalker sees play in Modern. So it's strong.
Yeah.
Aethersphere Harvester, that's a good thing.
Is that a shiny one?
Yeah.
That's a pretty Aethersphere Harvester, I love it.
Yeah.
That's not going to give him any respite right now.
I pulled one of those foil in my Aether Revolt box.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Still got it, too. Just hasn't been seeing any play lately. Cracking in with those Jade Light Rangers while he's got the chance. Dan has nothing to crew that Harvester with. It's just kind of in hover and unmanned.
See, I wonder if that Bontus from last game is like psychologically impacting Zuby right now. Because I'm sure he's got stuff in hand. I mean, he has 3, like, at least 2 land. Okay, cool.
Bristling Hydra. He tapped out all of his red sources. I don't see why he would do that. He would have to at least bluff the Harness Lightning, right? Because he needed double green. He didn't need the red for anything.
Yeah, maybe he's got the Blossoming Defense.
Aim at Eternal.
Alright, this is going to let him swing overhead and use all that energy he's been stockpiling. Unable to get any draws off the Glint Sleeves earlier.
If he wants to do that. There's a Bristling Hydra. I mean, Zuby only has the 3 energy he just got, but you don't want to let the Bristling Hydra just get through when the Aethersphere Harvester wins a trade with it. 3/5 against the 4/3. You gotta have to
That's
force.
true. I didn't think of it, but you force him to just pump it.
Yeah,
right?
you force him to pump it, and then like hope he doesn't have any other energy. But no, he's gonna go ahead and swing in with this Harvester, giving it lifelink. Relying on the lifelink to keep him somewhat alive. But the crackback is going to be worth 8. So Zuby's got him on a 2-turn clock, and an Ether Hub is going to give him another energy. And that's a Fatal Push in his hand. If he can find a way to get Revolt off, that Aethersphere Harvester is toast. There's an Hour of Glory in his hand still as well. He can use that on either of Dan's threats.
Nice.
I think Zuby's well ahead right now.
Takes him down real low, doesn't opt to spend any energy, doesn't care about the extra damage. He's on a 2-turn clock anyway.
And here we go. Let's see if Kasky can find some way to get himself back into this. He can top deck that Bontus again. Nope, it's just a Hash-Up Oasis.
Well, I mean, I guess he could pump up his lifelinker here and get a lot more life back. But...
Yeah, he'll gain 6, go back to 13. That'll put him back on a 2-turn clock instead of a next turn clock. But Zuby's got the removal spell, so that won't do it. unless Dan has a blossoming defense.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, how can he trigger Revolt on his opponent's turn? I mean, he doesn't have Evolving Wilds. It's probably going to be the only way.
Yeah. So Fatal Push isn't going to get it done, but the Hour of Glory will. He's going to have to spend energy to do it, but he just got one from Ether Hub, so he's okay. And he's got the 3 from Bristling Hydra as well.
Looks like the Karmic Justice might be on Zuby's side.
Yep.
This is a crucial moment. Does he just pass the turn there?
I think so. I think he's just keeping this Aethersphere Harvester on defense.
I can understand that.
Zuby taking some time to think. He may have also said go to combat. No, he's passing turn. Zuby opting not to Hour of Glory on that Ammon Eternal. He just finds another land.
No spells cast since Amit's hit the field too. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's still a 5/5. So Bristling Hydra would need to pump in order to get through that Ammon.
Yeah, he didn't play anything last turn, huh? He just attacked. Zuby calculating, can I end it now? He's wondering. He has the Evolving Wilds in hand.
Yeah, the Evolving Wilds would get the Fatal Push to go.
But he opted to play the Forest this turn.
Yeah. The play here would be Evolving Wilds, Fatal Push the Ammon Eternal, Dan Cruz the Aethersphere Harvester in response, and then you Hour of Glory the Aethersphere Harvester.
Oh, yeah, disgusting.
So there's the Hour of Glory. Emmett's automatically going to get, he's going to crew the Harvester.
Now you Fatal Push it.
Well, now he's got the Fatal Push online because of Revolt here from the Fatal Push on Jadelight Ranger. So he kind of let Dan do his dirty work for him as far as getting Revolt off is concerned. Fatal Push on the Harvester, which is now live due to the crew. Does Dan have the Blossoming defense? I don't think he does.
Oh, man. It's not enough damage, though.
Dan's board is ruined.
5. Oh, wait, that's 7 exactly.
That's 7 exactly, yeah. Just pay the last 3 energy to put that last counter on. Can Dan get out of this? Does he have a response to the Hydra getting hexproof? Vraska's Content would be great here.
Hesitation on the handshake extension?
Did something wrong? He's got Vraska's... No, but he puts it on the Jadelight Ranger.
Oh, he doesn't understand. Oh, wait, does he have enough energy to do it again, or no?
No, he doesn't have enough energy to do it again, but he should have done it to the Bristling Hydra. It didn't have hexproof yet. He didn't see the play.
All right, everyone, just to explain this and clarify, in case none of you guys are rule wizards like Alex is, how about you tell them how it works?
So, when you remove 3 energy... Yeah, that should not happen. Ugh. Oh, well, actually, no, that's fine. The Ravenous... Yeah, because it doesn't have hexproof anymore. So when you remove the 3 energy counters from yourself to put a +1/+1 counter on Bristling Hydra and give it hexproof, that's the right half of the colon. And anything on the right half of the colon doesn't happen until it resolves. It goes on the stack just like a spell. Before that point, it doesn't have hexproof. And if your opponent does not have any more energy to give it hexproof again, you can still target it with stuff, like Vraska's Content.
But Zuby is still in this, man. Even after that blowout on that last turn, Chandra comes out.
Yeah, reveals the Abrade off the top deck. What has Dan got now? Cycling a Desert of the Glorified.
Uh-oh. Oh, he finds a Fatal Push.
Fatal Push on the Glintsleeve Siphoner.
That's going to extend this game a little bit longer, but not much.
Chandra is just tick-tocking up to her ultimate very slowly.
Yeah, definitely could hit him for 2.
Yeah, it's a 2-turn clock. Cycling Sweltering Suns.
Ooh, that's an interesting sideboard choice. That's actually really strong in this deck.
Yeah, it is.
Holy smokes.
What did he reveal off the top deck here? Bristling Hydra, choosing not to cast it. Dan's at 2. 1 more +1 from Chandra will end it, and that is
That's
Scoop Phase.
Wow. So, like we said, the gods of variance are on Zuby's side today, rightfully giving him the match.
Yep.
He should have been 2-0.
Should have been 2-0, but he still got it 2-1. Yeah, just, we do have to tighten up the play, but fortunately we do have some... After this particular tournament, I'm aware that Theo actually served as the appointed judge for the Saturday event that immediately followed this.
Yeah, let's hope he knows his stuff.
He knows his stuff. He knows the rules.
Good.
His deck choices, we'll talk about that later. Maybe another time. But hey, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching this coverage of Friday Night Magic from the NeverBoard gaming community. Alex Brangan and Sacco signing off.
Yeah, and everyone, once again, make sure, check out in the link in the comments and in the description, I'm going to have a link to some of Zuby's work. You're really missing out if you haven't seen it yet. Subscribe to him and get on to listening to his podcast. It's high-quality stuff, guys.
That's Magic with Zuby. Check the description for the link. Have a good day, everybody.